We all know Steve Jobs as the visionary behind Apple, a name synonymous with innovation and groundbreaking technology. He's the man in the black turtleneck, the one who changed the world with the iPhone, ushering in a new era of mobile computing. But the pivotal moment that truly cemented his status as a billionaire didn't actually happen within the walls of Apple headquarters. It all started with a single, unexpected phone call, a conversation that would alter the course of his career and the landscape of animation forever. This is a story about belief, about having unwavering faith in an idea, seeing magic and boundless potential where others see only machines, lines of code, and cold, hard technology. After being exiled from Apple, a painful chapter in his professional life, Jobs unexpectedly found his second act in a place no one anticipated: Hollywood, the land of dreams and cinematic storytelling. He didn't just invest in a company as a mere financial transaction. He invested in a dream, a vision of what could be, held by a small but passionate group of artists and engineers who fervently believed that computers, with the right vision, could be used to tell compelling and emotionally resonant stories. They imagined computers making us laugh uncontrollably, cry with heartfelt emotion, and ultimately feel a deep connection to characters on screen, an audacious idea that would revolutionize the very foundation of filmmaking as we knew it. Jobs' journey was fraught with doubt, setbacks, and moments of near failure, betting everything on a future that only a select few could truly envision and believe in. He passionately believed that animated characters, brought to life through technology, could be just as emotionally real and compelling as any live-action actor. This story is a testament to resilience, to the power of never giving up, holding steadfastly onto your vision, even when the rest of the world isn't quite ready to embrace it. So, let's journey back in time together to uncover how a moment of professional exile, a seeming defeat, ultimately became the unlikely catalyst for one of the most groundbreaking and successful creative partnerships in cinematic history. We'll delve into how a struggling animation studio, teetering on the brink of collapse, was unexpectedly saved by a single, pivotal deal. And we'll explore how that very deal launched an entirely new era of storytelling, forever changing the way we experience animated films, making Steve Jobs a billionaire, solidifying his financial success long before his triumphant return to Apple. All of this was made possible thanks to a single life-altering phone call that connected a desperate dream, clinging to survival, to a magical kingdom in desperate need of a fresh spark of innovation and storytelling magic. This is the remarkable and inspiring story of Pixar Animation Studios, and it serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes your greatest and most impactful success is the one you least expect, the opportunity that arises from the most unexpected of circumstances. Let's begin this incredible journey. In the early 1980s, Disney's magic was fading, its once vibrant glow beginning to dim. The studio that had defined animation for generations was facing an uncertain future. Their animation studio, once the undisputed king of the box office, a creative powerhouse, was struggling to find its identity, grappling with changing tastes and a lack of fresh ideas. The future looked bleak. Meanwhile, far from the Magic Kingdom in Northern California, George Lucas was pushing the boundaries of filmmaking, venturing into uncharted territory with groundbreaking special effects. This was all happening at Industrial Light and Magic, or ILM. Inside ILM, amidst the chaos and innovation, a small, dedicated computer division, led by the visionary Ed Catmull, dreamed of creating the world's first computer-animated feature film, a feat that many considered impossible at the time. They built groundbreaking tools, writing complex algorithms and pushing the limits of available technology, and created stunning effects, revolutionizing visual storytelling. But for Lucas, this computer division was just a costly side project, a drain on resources needed elsewhere. Facing mounting financial pressures and a changing business landscape, Lucas made the difficult decision to sell the Computer Graphics Group. On one side, Disney desperately needed a new spark, a jolt of innovation to reignite its creative flame. On the other, a team of brilliant innovators brimming with potential needed a champion to believe in their vision. The cutting-edge technology Catmull's team built held the key to animation's future, a future no one else could quite see. But they needed someone who shared their vision, someone who understood the transformative power of their work. Little did they know, their savior was about to be cast out of his own kingdom, a twist of fate that would change everything. Two vastly different worlds, one losing its magic, the other on the very cusp of a groundbreaking discovery, were about to collide in a spectacular fashion. The stage was set for a revolution, a complete upheaval of the animation landscape. All they needed was someone to believe in the impossible, to see the potential where others saw only risk. That someone, the catalyst for this monumental shift, was Steve Jobs, and everything irrevocably was about to change forever. In 1985, Steve Jobs was forced out of Apple, a company he had poured his heart and soul into. It was a stunning turn of events, a very public defeat that could have easily ended his story, relegating him to the annals of business history as a one-hit wonder. Instead, these wilderness years became a crucible, a time of profound reinvention and self-discovery for the visionary entrepreneur. He founded Next, pushing the boundaries of computing, but deep down, he was searching for another revolution, something truly transformative. That's when he heard about the computer graphics group for sale from George Lucas, a pioneering team on the verge of something extraordinary. Ed Catmull and Alvy Ray Smith had tirelessly pitched their groundbreaking vision to dozens of companies, seeking investment and belief in their potential. But frustratingly, no one truly saw the potential, until Jobs walked into the room and immediately understood. He saw not just cutting-edge technology, but the untapped artistic potential residing within the heart of the machine, waiting to be unleashed. In 1986, Jobs made a bold move, buying the group for $5 million, a significant investment at the time. He then invested another $5 million, providing the crucial capital needed for the team to truly flourish. And with that, Pixar was born. To many outsiders, particularly those in the traditional business world, it looked like nothing more than a vanity project, an expensive hobby. But Jobs, with his uncanny ability to see beyond the present, saw the future of storytelling unfolding before his very eyes. He stepped into the role of Pixar's chairman, providing guidance and unwavering support. More importantly, he shielded the incredibly talented team from the relentless pressures of the market, giving them the creative freedom they desperately needed to innovate and experiment. This was far more than just a financial investment. It was a profound act of faith in the power of technology and human creativity. Jobs deeply believed that computer animation held the key to unlocking the next great medium of artistic expression and entertainment. He selflessly gave the team not only the necessary resources, but also the unwavering vision and belief in their potential that they needed to survive and ultimately thrive. His gamble wasn't solely about the potential for financial gain or return on investment. It was fundamentally about believing in the emergence of a completely new visual language for filmmaking, a digital revolution in storytelling. The challenging wilderness years had unexpectedly led him to a completely new and uncharted frontier, full of possibilities. And with that act of faith and vision, Pixar, a company that would redefine animation and filmmaking forever, was born. The early years at Pixar were a struggle for survival. Jobs had bought a company of visionaries, but not a profitable business. The plan to sell the Pixar image computer flopped. Sales were dismal. Pixar burned through cash, and Jobs kept pouring in millions to keep it alive. Advisors urged him to cut his losses, but he held on. The magic came from a small animation team led by John Lasseter, who used Pixar's technology to create short films. These shorts, like Luxo Jr., were full of heart, proving computers could tell emotional stories. Luxo Jr. was nominated for an Oscar, putting Pixar on the map. More shorts followed, winning awards and keeping the dream alive. But financially, Pixar was on the brink. Jobs nearly sold the company several times. The team survived on hope, passion, and Jobs' belief. Their ultimate goal, a feature film, seemed out of reach. They needed a miracle. And then, the phone rang. Disney was calling. Disney had noticed Pixar's magical shorts. While Disney was enjoying a renaissance with hits like The Little Mermaid, some executives saw Pixar's work as the future. Then came the call. Disney wanted to collaborate. They proposed a partnership to create the world's first full-length computer-animated feature. For Pixar, it was a dream and a huge risk. The negotiations were tough. Disney wanted control. Jobs fought for Pixar's independence. He refused to let Pixar become just a hired hand. After tense talks, a historic 3-picture deal was struck in 1991. Pixar would produce, Disney would co-finance and distribute. Pixar kept its creative culture and gained financial stability. Their first project, a story about toys that come to life, they called it Toy Story. No one knew if it would work. But Pixar finally had its shot. The world was about to witness a revolution in animation, and Steve Jobs was at the center of it all. Making Toy Story was a 4-year odyssey of innovation and risk. The team invented new technology and rewrote the story after a disastrous early version. Steve Jobs shielded the team from studio interference, championing their creative vision. He knew Toy Story had to be more than a technical marvel. It needed heart. When Toy Story premiered in 1995, it was an instant sensation. Audiences fell in love with Woody and Buzz. The film became the year's highest-grossing movie, earning over $373 million. It redefined animation and proved computers could create unforgettable characters. For Jobs, it was the ultimate vindication of his gamble. He'd invested over $50 million and believed when no one else would. Pixar's dream had come true and changed the industry forever. But the biggest surprise was still to come. Steve Jobs was about to become a billionaire. Jobs saw Toy Story's success as a strategic opportunity. Just a week after its release, he took Pixar public. Wall Street was skeptical. Pixar had only one hit and a history of losses, but Jobs bet on the power of a great story. On IPO day, Pixar's stock soared, closing at $39 a share. The company was suddenly valued at $1.5 billion. Jobs' 80% stake made him a billionaire overnight. Not from computers, but from a cowboy and a space ranger. Pixar was now a financial powerhouse, no longer the junior partner to Disney. The phone call that saved them had led to unimaginable success. Jobs had turned a near-bankrupt studio into a Wall Street darling. Pixar's future was secure, and Jobs' legend grew even larger, but the story wasn't over yet. With hit after hit, Pixar's power grew. The original Disney deal now seemed restrictive. Pixar created billion-dollar franchises but saw little profit. Jobs demanded a true partnership, pushing for equal ownership and creative control. Disney's own animation was struggling while Pixar thrived. The student had become the master. In 2005, new Disney CEO Bob Iger saw the future depended on Pixar. Instead of renegotiating, Iger proposed Disney buy Pixar outright. In 2006, Disney acquired Pixar for $7.4 billion in stock. Pixar's leaders took charge of Disney Animation. Jobs became Disney's largest individual shareholder and joined its board. The outsider was now the most powerful voice in Hollywood's biggest studio. The journey from exile to empire was complete, and the magic was just beginning. Steve Jobs didn't just fund an animation studio, he changed the DNA of modern filmmaking. He proved technology could be a paintbrush for artists, not just a tool. Pixar's culture of story and innovation raised the bar for all animation. The Disney-Pixar union sparked a new golden age, revitalizing Disney with hits like Frozen and Moana. Jobs bridged the worlds of tech and entertainment, championing both art and science. His greatest financial success came from believing in dreamers during his exile. The iPhone and Mac changed how we live, but Pixar changed how we tell stories. Jobs' legacy is the fusion of creativity and technology. He inspired a generation to dream, innovate, and reach for infinity and beyond. The phone call that saved Pixar changed Hollywood forever. Steve Jobs left an indelible mark on both Silicon Valley and Hollywood. Sometimes the greatest stories begin when you least expect them, and sometimes a single act of belief can change the world.